Found on major platforms serving the smart TV market, SportsGrid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pregame previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Moritzi, and many more. To find out where you can watch SportsGrid, go to sportsgrid.com/watch. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma. And boy, oh boy, is this a special show. Wayne Kotow from CCA, California. Yeah, he's retiring. Oh, no, say it ain't so. So this is his tribute show today. We're going to have some great special guests calling in, so you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, SportsGrid Radio Network, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 1090 AM. Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
This is Bob Hoots at Kotow Sunglasses. Visual signs are a critical part of my fishing program, from bay bass to bluefin. I wear Kotows to see what's out there. Kotows are built with advanced polarization technology with our 580 lens, designed to cut through the sun's glare while providing enhanced color to see more fish. Kotow was founded by a group of anglers wanting a high-performance lens for every fishing application. Kotow has a West Coast style frame and lens for your adventures. KotowSunglasses.com.
Hey, San Diego, the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event is going on now at your San Diego County Ford dealers. The biggest deals of the year to finish 2024, featuring America's best-selling truck, Ford F-Series, leading for 47 straight years. Or check out the full lineup of versatile Ford SUVs, including Bronco or Bronco Sport. Don't wait. Come take a test drive today. Get holiday ready only at your local San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Say it ain't so, fam. What are you kidding me? This is a real thing we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen?
What's going on,
Yeah.
Wayne?
No,
got old.
I say no. I say no. It's not happening.
Well, you're leaving it in good hands with
buddy.
Chris and Tony. Chris and Tony will do a great job, but they're not Wayne Kotow.
There's no such
There's
thing
only
as
one
another
of
those,
those.
man.
I appreciate
Thank God.
Yeah, for sure. So does that mean you're going to be doing more RP fishing and
I will
more
go.
enjoying your life?
I want to go fishing. I've got a grandson now. My son just got engaged this year, so
wow,
a lot of things going on
Yeah,
family wise, that I put on hold for the last 9.5 years for
Yeah.
doing this job.
because that job 9.5. It's been 9.5
it's crazy,
years.
Wayne.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? And that was really the formulation of CCA California.
Yeah.
It's setting up the base and making sure that it was stable enough to be able to hand off to the next generation to run. Right. And it's taken a lot longer than I had hoped. But look at how many times we tripped. Right.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of we're doing great. The membership's up. Chapters are going, and COVID.
Yeah.
80-30-30, and all the other things that have been coming around, and it just kept tripping us every time.
Yeah.
Right. The shows got canceled, and events were canceled, and we just had to suck it up, right? And fundraising and everything. But we've lived through it. We've learned a lot.
So in your 9.5 years, do you have one accomplishment of CCA California that just stands out?
Beating AB 3030. Nobody thought we were going to be able to do that when that came down.
And explain AB 3030.
Right.
AB 3030 was a bill that was introduced in the legislature to codify or put a statute behind everything that they wanted to do with 3030, the protection of water and land, to set aside 30% of that in California. And we were the first before they had the National America the Beautiful Act, and they tried to come at us. But it wasn't just the premise of protection; it was regulation of fishing and preventing from doing outdoor activities. And there were so many other pieces to it that we just could not accept. And we tried to get them to pare it down, and they wouldn't do it. They thought they had the horsepower to just roll this thing. And we put the coalitions together, and we were able to kill it. And they didn't see it coming. We didn't see it coming. I mean, we went all Hail Mary on that one. We did a really good campaign.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
Oh, it was huge. It was very huge. And it really.
So if that would have gone through, what would have happened?
We would have a lot harder restrictions here in California on what they were going to do to implement 30 by 30.
Like the opposition would be writing the rules that we would have to live by.
Correct.
3030 is basically they want 30% of the lands and 30% of the oceans protected.
Correct.
Because right now with the MPAs, it's about
16%.
16%.
And
so
their
they
version
would have almost doubled.
And their version of protected is no use.
It depends on who you talk to.
Right.
There's extremes on every side, right?
Of course.
And this is the problem, because we have the MPAs, but some of them are take you MPAs.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all 100% restricted. And so we're going through multiple processes. We have the MPA decadal review we're going through right now. We got 30 by 30 because they eventually did codify it, right, with the statute. But we've pared it back to the basic premise. And then you have America the Beautiful, the federal act on top of that. So, but the problem is the state is more restrictive than the federal statute. And so we're trying to figure out, well, why is it more important, one versus the other? Why can't it all be the same?
Sure.
Right. And then there's the international on top of that. And you guys know this is only step 2, because the last step is 50 by 50. They've already talked about it. Really? So this is just
they
a
want
step
50%.
Absolutely.
Craziness.
Worldwide. The problem is we're not the enemy. Here in California, we are the most restricted, managed area. And look at the results of what we're doing out here, right?
Healthy ocean. Tim Ekstrom was talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Never have we ever seen the outer waters
the amount of life, the amount of bait, the amount of other animals that are out there, right? Everything is good out there right now.
Right. Here's what they don't address, and you and I both know this, is urban runoff.
Oh, number one.
Sewage crisis.
Number one.
All that stuff. That is definitely affected the inshore. I mean, we all know when we were kids, we walked the tide pools, and they were super healthy and stuff. Now, but that's a different problem. They're not addressing that problem.
Well, that's been on the agenda for 9.5 years.
Yeah.
That I never understood why the environmental community didn't get behind it with us. That the pollution, if we fix that, everything else gets fixed too.
Exactly.
Because the inshore water doesn't need the protections of MPAs and 30 by 30, because it will be protected by those things that are killing everything. Right. The urban runoff from the sewer system, the raw sewage releases, the pollution of plastics, the balloons, all of those things that we've been fighting to try to get done. Now, where
we see it, they don't see it. We're on the water every day.
But I don't understand why they don't understand it, right? Yeah. Why would you fight those things that are so important to the whole ecosystem, right? And that's one of those things.
Because it's not political.
Well, it is, but it's
money.
Expensive.
Yeah.
It's like talking infrastructure projects. It's huge, right? But look at what we've been able to accomplish, right? I mean, look at all the people that are working on our behalf to help get like the Tijuana sewage issue fixed.
Right.
Look at how long that took.
Yeah.
But it's starting, right?
It's a beginning.
It's a beginning. And now we're starting to hear Fed and state regulator agencies, departments talk about the problem of sewers, runoff, pollution. But it's a bigger thing, right? You got to take it at a higher level.
So what? Okay, that's number 1. What's number 2 on the list of 9.5 years? I mean, because there's Ricky, as we know, there's a big list.
Cowcod Conservation Area opening.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
4,600 square miles out of the 4,800 square miles. We got opened after 20 years of closure.
CCA California was huge in that.
Yeah.
And that's
That
what
was
people
huge.
don't understand. Okay, you're able to go out and fish 500-600 feet now. Why? Because
Well, no, unlimited, right?
yeah,
Past 50
unlimited.
fathoms. So
Yeah, where you couldn't do it before.
that area was only open to commercial. It's now open to rec. That was huge. It was step one of two, right? Cowcod got deem rebuilt 2019. We got the Cowcod Conservation opened up. Now we got to work on getting a bag limit. And we just started talking to the feds and the state, and they finally backpedaled to say, let's talk about how we're going to do it. So that's an ongoing thing. It was one of those things that I said, I'm not going to retire till I get that. That's my goal. I'm right there.
Yeah.
But, and then the third one, I guess, if you want to keep going down
Yeah.
the list, the 365 license.
Yes.
That thing was
Yeah.
on the plate for 9 years by another group running it, and they just couldn't get it over the line. And we worked it hard and got it on our first try. And on top of that, we got the license app on your phone, which is a huge win
That's a
because
huge one.
between the 365 license and the app, that forced the department to upgrade their licensing application. And our systems in Sacramento are very old and antiquated, so they needed to do it anyway. But it forced that. Now we have a platform to now grow upon. And we're trying to figure out the next steps on how to keep going with that, right?
And has it resulted in more license sales for the
It
state?
did not hurt, which is
Yeah.
what they thought everything was going to crash.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we did that right through that whole COVID period too, right? And we go,
Right.
oh, here we go. And during COVID, license sales went up. And then we said, oh, here comes the big crash. And it came down a little
Dipped a
bit,
little bit.
but it didn't dip to the level that they
Right.
thought, right? And you'll know how that works out based on your license costs.
Yeah.
Because it's all based, they all keep trying to keep the revenue at the same level, right? So they're forecasting always.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gone up a little bit. Hopefully, if we can keep growing our licenses, we can bring the cost down. That's the goal. We'll
Ricky,
see.
you as a retailer, I work in a Fisherman's Landing. You guys retail California fishing licenses. Have you seen more people get I'll just get an annual license instead of getting a one-day license?
That's the thing that you see the most is once somebody, especially if the guy that maybe doesn't fishes tuna more than not, they don't do a lot of springtime fishing, they don't do a lot of rock cod fishing, and they turn around and they go to buy their license and it's August, or it's July or it's August, and before there was always that just give me a one day, I'm only going to go one or two times. Now there's no penalty, there's no loss. Oh yeah, I'll take the annual.
Just take
So
the annual.
without question, later in the year we have a much increased number of annual sales than we do of one days that we would have in the
Right.
future. Because a guy didn't want to buy a yearly long, he's paying the same money for his annual license, but he was
Right.
doing it in August and it's only going to be good for a couple of months. Well, that's not fair. I'm out. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So you don't see that.
So
dip.
that's more
question.
revenue.
No question we have.
Yeah, the upgrade from a one day to the annual is exactly what happened, and we're seeing that year over year now.
Yeah. That's good.
So people need to know, right? We got the online app, or the cellular app. The thing is once you download it in your app, even if you're offline from cellular communication, it stores the picture of your license on there, so you can show it now. That is legal.
And that'll be an accepted form of, hey,
Absolutely.
I've got my license. See, that I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, being able to show your license on your phone through the app is legal now.
That's
Yes.
cool.
And that was part of the statute.
See,
And
I
then-
didn't know that. That's great.
And it shows
most
the-
other states already do that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Like I have
most
a
of them.
Montana license, and the same thing in Montana. They have an app
Across the
you
South.
say, Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't have to be in cell service. It works. Yeah.
Across the South. And then the other side of it is we have annual renewal, the auto renewal. So if you're doing it, buy your license online, do it on your phone, hit the auto renewal, and then you don't have to worry about when it expires.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, at this point,
Oh,
get
that's a
with
good
it,
tip,
right? It's
Because
like
we
pay your
talked about
bills.
that a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. It's
Exactly.
like, how do you know? Just hit the auto renew. You're good.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, if you go to a retailer like us and your email, if your email address is not plugged into the system, which a lot of people's aren't, then you don't get the heads up
Nope.
that you're 1 month from it. If you do, it's great. They send you an email. Hey, in 30 days, your license is going to expire. Click here to get a new one, or just, hey, heads up, go.
But all of us that have Mexican license been doing it for years.
Yeah.
You just put a date in your phone
Right.
and say expired on this
That's
date.
it.
Right.
Reminder.
I
or you
wonder
do
when
what I-
Mexico's going to have an app.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well,
man?
you know,
What
I
are
mean,
you
I gotta
doing
throw
right
a
now?
little humor
What are
in,
you
right?
doing right now?
It could.
my
Hey,
God.
it could happen.
I just like to be able to have
They,
it. Oh,
they could do it just
God.
following our lead now.
Yeah.
Now we can show them
you
how
know
to do
what?
it.
I have confidence.
Again,
I
we're not
think
going to
they
say
can
another
pull it
word beyond
off.
this, but could you imagine the revenue stream if there was an incredibly easy click here for your Mexican license, click here for your FMM, click here for
Yes.
your TIP, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
everyone would follow the rules. Like there are so many people who do not follow the rules.
Right.
Only because
It's
they
too complicated.
can't figure it out.
It's
Like,
too complicated.
I run into people who are willing to, happy to spend the money, want to do it,
Right.
and end up not because they just couldn't figure it out. And I can't blame that guy.
Can we
either.
just
Like,
go back to the license and the boat
Just-
life
yeah.
permit? Remember that?
Like I want to
That's
pay
why
for
those
it.
two
Let me
things,
pay
I'm
for it.
good.
No problem.
For sure.
No problem. I'll pay for it.
So, okay, top 3 things there. Now, what are some of the things you're leaving on the table for Chris and Tony to accomplish?
What's your good luck, Chris?
Yeah.
Pat on the
Well,
shoulder.
no,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm outta here.
we always have the goal of expansion, right? So we're into Central California. We're trying to expand north. That takes time, resource, money, obviously. We need to grow our base.
What's our most northern chapter in California right now?
Right now, all the way up to Morro Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, we started Morro Bay this year.
Great.
But we need to keep going. But to do that, it's coverage, right? 2 people, if they hire a third person, like which we just have, it's a lot to cover. It's a
Yeah.
big state, right? I was driving it the whole time, and it's going to be hard. So that is a strategic initiative that the state board of CCA Cal is going to have to address, and in the hiring practices and setting of goals. Between that, expansion of fundraising, because it's expensive to run what we do. And we just need to be better at it. We need better fundraising, consistent fundraising, so that we don't have to keep going hand to mouth. And then just keep growing from there. If we can find the right people to help us on the government relations side, there's so much we can do, right? It never ends, but we only have so much bandwidth and coverage. And then on top of that, we're trying to do habitat work. We want to do, artificial reefs and, oyster and kelp and all this kind of restoration and mitigation work, but we just don't have enough people right now.
Yes.
So if we can grow that, the hatchery program always is number 1 to us. And we're, at a critical juncture right now. We put the statute through. That was another success of ours, was AB 1949, which was, putting the update to the statute of the hatchery program through the state, putting together a advisory panel that is modern in its setup, and then creating a scientific advisory board.
And the hatchery program, we should know, was in danger of just going away.
Yeah, almost gone.
Very, very
well, it's
close.
still right now. Our whole thing is to justify back to the legislature in 2027 the status of what is success of the hatchery program. And that's why we're trying to figure it out, because everybody has a difference of opinion on what is success. But the program was not strictly set up to be there for to increase stock. It was not designed for that. It was about the science behind how to do it. Remember, this was the first ocean saltwater hatchery program.
Period.
Period. Yeah. And so everybody else that has hatchery programs learned from this. But we walk away from these programs that are so important to what we've learned, how we learn. Right now, we just expanded in the science side into genetics. Well, everybody kept telling us that couldn't be done. It shouldn't be done and everything. And guess what? Everybody is now going towards that, to the point of the Department of Fish and Wildlife opened a genetic department.
Wow.
And is now going to be doing the genetics study for our hatchery program.
Yeah.
On top of, they opened it up for the salmon.
Yeah.
Which is very important for all of us, right? So these are things that we're trying to set the tone and the leadership going forward, strategy going forward of how we're going to get there.
We should know that Wayne Kotow is not going away, right? You are not going, just like walking away from CCA California. You're going to be on the state board with me and many other people, right?
I saw Wayne's, retirement letter to the industry, and said, "I'm not going away. I'm going to be doing," and then the paragraph was like a page long, like. You're gonna, Wayne's still gonna be around.
I'm still in the industry. I'm still passionate about our fishing. I still want to go to shows. I just don't want to have to work every day at a show. You're
going to be at the PCS show?
I will be there.
Okay,
absolutely.
In the booth?
Somebody's booth.
Well, come into our booth.
Walking
hang
around
out with Tommy P.
I have never been able to walk a fishing show in the last, 20 years, because 24 years, just because I've always been in a booth.
It's just one of the many things that's always impressed me so much about Wayne is you've done such a good job of keeping CCA in front of everybody. There was never an event, it feels like at all, in the last 9.5 years that you weren't at, whether it was a major event like PCS or a parking lot sale in Northern California or a
live broadcast of Let's Talk Hookup,
whatever it was.
right?
Anytime public assembled for an event that were into fishing, you were there. And the only time you weren't was because you were at someone else's event and you couldn't be in 2 places at one time. And I'm just so proud of the job that you did. And it was That is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And Wayne was everywhere always. I mean, at the
How?
lowest level of grassroots, there's a fishing club
you
with
clone
20
somebody?
guys. You were always there. And I'm just so appreciative for you. You did a great job, buddy.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a lot of burning the candle and late nights and driving. And yeah, it was a lot. When I tell people that we were working 6 and 7 days a week for the last 9.5 years,
truth.
it's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nights, weekends, and holidays. If you think about it, we're working all week long during the day on everything else, right? Admin and policy and marketing and sponsors and government relations. Every night there's an event somewhere with some fishing organization or event. And then the weekends are all the events.
Yeah. The
Right?
attacks on our right to go fishing are constant. It doesn't go
it never,
away.
it won't go away.
It won't go away.
It
So
won't
that's
go
why you have to be vigilant constantly. So what if now let's talk about what fun things Wayne's going to
Yeah.
do. So like
Wayne's
you
going
talked
fishing.
About, you're going fishing. You just got off the road.
I just got off that trip.
Polaris to Let's Talk Hookup. How was that trip?
Unbelievable. I mean, you're worried in December, right? The wind comes up, the swell comes up, but we're going downhill. And Trevin made a conscious decision to go south, to go after the tuna. He went for broke and it paid off. The second day we were on a school.
Second day.
Yeah. The first day we were heading south, and could he have stopped on a small school? Yeah. But he said, let's go for it. And we got to get down to where we need to get to, where the zone is. And on the second day we ran into a school and put 100 fish on the boat.
Wow.
That was a slow day. That was just the warm up.
That was
Jeez.
We take another day, we're driving south and we run into a couple of fish. No big deal. Keep going. And then the next day, a 200 fish day.
Oh my.
You want to
Come
talk
on.
about bloody decks. You want to talk about just wide open. We had to stop people from fishing to clear the deck multiple times because there were
Multiple
just too
times.
many fish on the deck and it was just getting ridiculous,
How
right?
cool.
So we say, all right, everybody, if you're not hooked up, stop. And then
Yeah.
we're clearing the deck. And and it was just mayhem. It was fun. And they're not small fish.
yeah.
These are like 70 to 90, 100-pound
Jeez.
fish
Oh
that
my
are coming over
gosh.
consistently.
Unreal.
You got 29 other people that are hooked up, right?
Yeah.
And I went.
And Trevin, who's the second ticket on the Royal Polaris now. What a great guy he
Oh,
is.
he's an animal.
Yeah.
He's just hungry.
He's an animal.
I'll tell you what.
Relentless.
Yeah, and what a great crew that Johnny put together on that boat
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything. It was just fun, and good food. We got Pearl working the kitchen now, and she just brings a different twist to everything. It was just a good
Our
trip.
sponsors gave away some great
Sponsors.
prizes. Kamikaze hooks for everybody.
Costa,
AFCO gave a bunch of
AFCO,
stuff.
Cigar.
Costa, yes,
Yeah,
Cigar,
everybody
yeah.
was happy.
Yeah.
I put some raffles
Shimano,
together.
put a bunch of stuff in there.
I put other things together.
Yeah.
We did a Rolo raffle on the boat.
Yes,
That was
yeah.
good. Thank
Very
you to Doug,
successful.
That's
Doug
awesome.
and the
Yeah.
Fisherman's Landing Tackle.
Yeah.
And then Frank also put a gift certificate in on that. And then we did that raffle. We had the jackpot for the yellowtail for Rolo on the boat also. That raised a little bit of money for the kids. And then, I just put other contests together. It was kind of funny. We had a guy that was hurting and he couldn't fish. So I put a contest together. I said, hey, first person that puts a yellowtail in his sack gets a prize. You don't think the deckhands were the first ones over the rail?
That's cool.
It was just fun, right? So
That's
you just
cool.
put these little
Great
things
atmosphere
together.
on the boat.
Yeah. And the thing is, this was a group that wasn't our group from last year because we moved dates. So this was a trip that was typically unsponsored.
All right.
So these are all new people to us.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. And they were
Are
excited.
you going to do it again next year?
I am going to do it next year.
Okay.
'cause
All right. Yeah. It's on the books.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate
So Wayne
it.
Kotow.
That's your
Let's
trip,
Talk
buddy.
Hookup
I
trip,
love it.
man.
I love
Yeah.
that trip. I mean, they're good people. It's a good
Yeah.
time of the year. It's just fun.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah. And
we-
great boat.
And we got a couple of wahoo in between all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got 100 fish day, 200 fish day, and then we had 100 yellowtail day.
Wow.
We just ran into it, right? And then we had other things, right? You get into a sheep's head, you get in some bass, all the basses, you get into lingcod. I mean, it's just this freezer filler trip. It
Yeah.
rounds out, and it was just fun. And then you got the bump uphill.
Yeah. Now, one thing but fortunately you were on the big boat. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
Yes.
One thing Wayne and I talked about before the show started today was the processing fees, and the cost of processing, like everything else, has gone up. And so people get to the processor and it's like, oh my God, I've got $1,000 processing bill, right?
It's easy
Or
to
more.
Yeah, or more. And what am I going to do with all that? So one thing we need to be conscious of is how much fish you're taking home, and you can release them, cut them off, let them go,
Yeah,
let them swim
totally.
another day.
Correct.
You don't have to, if you don't think you need any more fish, let them go.
That's correct.
Or I know other guys that put together kind of a little code group of friends. Hey, you want some fish? I'll put a tag under your name. I'll put a tag under your name. And then, but you have to make reservations at Fisherman's Processing to be able to do that. Split up your fish with your friends, so they're paying part of your processing bill. They get to keep it.
Totally.
Like that.
Absolutely.
So
you can wrap up a lot, and trying to be the bud, like, I'll throw you some fish over. It's not a cheap cheap thing, fish for yourself, not for your neighborhood.
right. Yeah. But cut them off. Let them go.
Totally.
Be
Let 'em swim
responsible.
another day.
Just because you have 30 tickets doesn't mean you have to pull them all.
Yeah.
Especially for people that are traveling, because you have weight limits on
Right.
those boxes. And those boxes are expensive to put on a plane.
Yes, they are.
So
Yeah,
be
or
very
ship or
conscious,
anything.
right? And then, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, like you said, if they want to come down and help out,
That's it.
but be responsible.
Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. The phones are packed already. I know texts are flowing through, and we have, like I said, some special guests calling in too. But it's going to be a fun show talking Wayne Kotow and CCA California.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun day, and just talking a lot of fun and a lot of fishing and a great career from CCA with our good friend Wayne. If you want to join us, man, we would love to hear from you this morning. If you've got a story you want to share, you've got a question you'd like to ask, you've got some kudos you'd like to give to Wayne, man, we want to hear it all today. 213-432-1090 is the number. Again, 213-432-1090. That's how you reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup this morning, or send us a text. Just like the phone lines, the texts have just been absolutely lighting up this morning. And if you want to send us a text, the only way to do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. Speaking of the Let's Talk Hookup app, we've been saying it a lot. It is never more important than it is today. Let's listen on the Let's Talk Hookup app, or at least download the Let's Talk Hookup app, because you will always find our stream available on the Let's Talk Hookup app. We are very excited to be moving to the Fan starting next weekend, and it's a big, exciting move. We had a fantastic time on 1090, but the stream will always be available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. Even if you're planning on tuning in on the Fan, you should absolutely have that.
Mostly because Saturday, 7 to 8 a.m. is going
Exactly.
to be on the Fan. Saturday, 8 to 9 will only be on the app.
Yep.
Sunday, 7 to 9 will be on
As
the Fan
normal.
and the app as normal. But if you want to hear hour number 2 of Saturday, you have to listen on the app or on the stream on the website.
There will be 1 hour only available that via some sort of streaming way, whether it be on the website, whether it be on the app. But yeah,
all hours are available on the app.
You
So
got it.
just
Yeah.
download that free app.
And it's so easy to listen to Let's Talk Hookup. It's so easy to listen to all the archive shows. And it's the only way that you can send in your text today if you want to talk to Wayne. And we are giving away a killer prize today. One lucky caller or texter is going to win a $100 gift certificate to Cal's Custom Built Reels and a $100 gift certificate to Seawald Photo Gallery to choose from over 120 custom photos all over the world, personally signed and titled by Michael Seawald. If you haven't already, I know, Pete, last time you and Corey were on, you talked about it quite a bit. It's an amazing,
Super cool website.
really, really cool. Check seawald.com. That's
That's
SEAWA.
No, SEE.
Yeah.
Okay.
WALD.
We'll make a correction on
my
this here.
correction. It's my
No
bad
problem.
there.
SEEWALD.com. And you'll see some amazing images. It's really, really cool. And again, one lucky caller or texter is going to get to take advantage of that today at the end of the show. 213-432-1090 is how you do it. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, reading those texts. Lots of great fun coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, the Sports Grid Radio Network, Facebook, and YouTube Live.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
24 years ago, I visited this amazing place called Hawaii Archipelago. I just could not get enough of these amazing islands, natural beauty, friendly people, and phenomenal fishing. I knew I had to spend more time there. Moving forward to today, here I am, a fishing lodge owner. Hi, this is Valerie Hilbrich from Queen Charlotte Safaris in beautiful Hawaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. We are a boutique lodge just steps from the Sandspit Harbor, offering a truly unique fishing adventure. Our fishing is world class. You will fish for king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Our fishing grounds are untouched, unspoiled, and surrounded by stunning scenery. We are dedicated to making your adventure an experience that will be a lifetime of memories. We will welcome you as friends, and you will leave as part of the Queen Charlotte Safaris family. You will come for the fishing, and you'll come back for the memories. We are booking now. Please give me a call at 1-877-815-2892 or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or website qcsafaris.com.
Looking for that perfect gift for the person in your life that loves the outdoors? Then look no further. The History of Sport Fishing gift card is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just go to thehistoryofsportfishing.com to sign up for immediate access to 12 hours of the most riveting footage that's ever been assembled on the sport. Listen to what others are saying about the series, including Mark Zona, who wrote, "Incredibly well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely riveting. This film should be in the Smithsonian. A profound experience into why men and women of all ages are drawn to the brooks, streams, rivers, lakes, and oceans of the world. A tribute to all of us who hold our sport sacred. Best documentary I've ever seen. Save a full 30% off right now. Just go to thehistoryofsportfishing.com and give the gift that not only enriches one's soul, but will keep giving for generations to come."
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Boy, hearing that Michael Folks thing just gets me so fired up. What an amazing collection he put together.
If you haven't seen that
it's
yet,
just
historyofsportfishing.com. Check it out.
It's awesome, man.
Michael's awesome.
It is so cool. We have an account that I have my own personal, but the landing has an account also.
Yeah.
And one of the things we did for this year is they put in some giant, 90-inch TV behind where you do the reservations counter. So when you come up to buy your tickets, there's this big TV that's usually playing some kind of a cool underwater scene. We got all the cool footage from the boats, but also throughout the year they'll play chapters of the history of sport fishing, and you want to see people stop in their tracks. Anything from that old school tuna footage to the old school long range footage when somebody's buying their ticket and they're trying to jump on a half day boat. Next thing you know, they're standing there watching 20 minutes of it. It's really fun.
Whoa.
It's
I'm gonna miss the boat.
Yeah, it's an amazing work for sure.
Also, you heard in that break too, Queen Charlotte Safaris. You heard our lovely Valerie. She'll be our guest next Saturday, starting the new year. Or next Sunday.
Right?
Excuse me. Starting the new year and the new station on the fan. Saturday we have Captain Al Clowers.
Been a minute.
Clowers. Yeah, it's going to be great talking bay fishing, local fishing, all that stuff. And then Sunday, Valerie from Queen Charlotte Safaris will be here, and she's always fantastic to have. She usually has Rob, one of the guys.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Comes in, so that'll be next Saturday and Sunday right here to start the new year off right on Let's Talk Hookup. Let's start this thing off right with our good buddy El Presidente himself, Mr. Dave Pfeiffer from Shimano. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Great.
Morning.
Great to hear from you.
Well, thanks for having me on. I wouldn't miss it. Big day having Wayne on with his announcement and everything that's happening.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've been talking about all the accomplishments and hard work that this guy's put in, but you being on the head of the board and being so involved with Wayne, tell us about your thoughts about Wayne and what he's done for CCA California.
Yeah, the tough part is, so Wayne, you're there, but where to start? I mean, look, it's easy being on the board. Wayne's job was the tough one.
Yeah, right.
We just sat around and tried to tell him what to do all the time. Wayne did all the hard work. So, and you know what? No one managed all of that input, all of those different pressures, different thoughts than Wayne. He carried the whole thing on his back, and he can sail off into retirement knowing that he's the one that really built CCA Cal to where it is today.
I appreciate that, man. Dave.
Yeah, and that's so true too, because you were right there alongside constantly. How you manage to do all the different things you do, Dave, and run a major company like Shimano American, it boggles my mind. But yet you took the time to be involved, and you're going to continue to do that, right?
Yeah, I'm still vice chair on the board and try to be as involved as I can be, as well as a few other organizations. But, it's just one of those things, the most important things in life, you find a way to make time for. And this is important. Fishing's been part of my whole life and provided a great living for me and great experiences. So I got to try to do whatever I can to make sure that's available for everybody else. And I know that's how Wayne feels, and his passion drove that literally every single day.
Yeah.
If anything, I would share with everybody, as much as we pushed Wayne to do certain things, we also, I think, pushed more on Wayne not to try to do so much. But his energy and his enthusiasm and his drive was really, honestly, just beyond description, beyond explanation. And CCA Cal and everybody that fishes in Southern California is going to miss that.
I had said it before. I've never seen somebody that's more present in our industry than Wayne. There was never an event or a thing or a gathering that Wayne wasn't at, representing very well CCA Cal.
Yeah, I think the truth is there's more than one Wayne out there. We just only ever see one.
The only way it's
at a
possible.
time.
It's the only way it's possible.
It's just not a Danny.
He never got caught being in two places at the same time. So I give him credit for that too.
Yeah, for sure.
But really, Wayne, I really wish you the best. I hope that everybody in SoCal wishes you the best. And if they see you along the way, they, I don't know, buy you a beer or, take you fishing or something. But you deserve all of that recognition and appreciation for everything you've done for CCA Cal. And I hope that this next phase of your life is just awesome and amazing. And I won't tell you to relax, because I know that won't happen, but I hope you can channel that enthusiasm into everything that you want to do for you.
That is so cool.
Appreciate that, Dave.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now, you are getting an honor from CCA California on May 1st, and that is the Anthony Shea Conservation Award Dinner, which is going to be happening in Long Beach, right? Wayne, tell us about
Absolutely, yeah. Dave Pfeiffer is the recipient this year for CCA Cal. It's our highest honor that we do out every year, and it'll be at the Grand in Long Beach on May 1st.
Yeah,
so
and I'll be there. I mean, you should be there, but tickets are available right now. CCA California.
As far as I know, they're up on the event site on our website.
Buy a table and support CCA and support all the great work that Dave has put forth and continues to put forth on CCA.
Yeah, Dave's another one. You guys don't know how much that man does behind the scenes and everything that we do. He is very, very involved at so many levels of government. You guys, he has done so much for our industry over the years. So equal kudos back, Dave.
Well, I appreciate that, and I hope more than anything everybody will come to the dinner to support CCA, because that's really what it is. It's not about me; it's about CCA and CCA Cal, and I say it all the time. I don't know if everyone realizes how important this organization is to the future of fishing in California, because there's no end to the number of things out there that want to get in the way of us just simply being able to go fishing.
Yeah.
And so we just need to all unite as much as we can. And CCA Cal's, look, we're going to be successful at some things. We're not going to win them all, but we'd lose them all if we didn't have CCA Cal. So
absolutely,
no question about it. And I know you're you live in South Carolina. I mean, you guys face same issues, but not to the extreme that we face here in Southern California, right? Or in California in general.
No, not at all. People aren't always trying to take away our just basic, rights and access to fishing out here. We have some other extraneous things with different seasonal closures and stuff like that, with lack of data and managing the resource, but it's nowhere near as broad and complex as the issues in Southern California or California in general. So.
I know I've always heard guys say how important CCA California is to to CCA as a countrywide group, because so many of those things try to take their foothold here. And people that the people that Dave are talking about that want to take those rights away, this is where they have their biggest stronghold. And if they can get their foot in the door here, then it bleeds into all the other states. So this is we are the front line here, and we're the most important. We've got to have the backs of everybody else in the country too. Like, it's so important for everybody to support, both financially and time and everything else.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah,
maybe 30-30 started here.
It really is. And look, all of us just really honest. We don't really want to do all this stuff. We just want to go fishing.
Yeah.
That's all. We just want to go fishing, have a good time, have access to healthy resources that we support with all of our money through licenses, through excise tax, through everything else. And we just want to have access to that fishing. It's that simple. And, you know, but we got to do these things or else that access would disappear. So
very rapidly. Well, Dave, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Are you going sword fishing today?
I wish I was. We're getting some actually much needed rain today. We've had, most people don't think we get a drought out here, but we've had really very little rain. So we're getting some heavy rain. So I'll save the sword fishing for another day.
All right, Dave. Well, we're looking forward to not only May 1st for the much deserved Anthony Shea Award that you're going to be getting up in Long Beach there for the CCA California Conservation Award, but also having you here in the studio for Let's Talk Hookup on February the 15th. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As always, I really enjoy doing the show and talking with everybody. So I look forward to it. And Wayne, bless you. Look forward to seeing you down the road next time I'm in SoCal.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks
a
for joining
bunch,
us.
guys.
See you,
okay,
Dave.
have a
Dave
great one.
Pfeiffer from Shimano. Really appreciate him taking the time, and good friend of us and the show, and just a wonderful guy that does a lot for. Even though he's not a California resident anymore, he still does a lot for Californians here.
No doubt about it.
And
Absolutely.
that's because it's in his heart for sure. All right. Phones are packed. Let's jump into it, Rick.
You got it, man. We're going to start it off this morning with Robert. He's calling us from Canyon Country. Robert, good morning. Thanks for getting started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Absolutely great show. So I called in to congratulate Wayne on his retirement. Tomorrow morning is my first day of retirement also. So I can start
Congratulations.
looking at the weather during the week. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can start looking at the weather during the week and the light loads on the trip during the week. And just want to congratulate you and thank you for all of your hard work. For me and my grandsons, we just appreciate everything you've done. And thank you and congratulations again.
Appreciate that.
Call, man.
And congratulations to you. Enjoy your retirement.
Yeah, hopefully we share the rail soon.
Yeah, you guys both earned it,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
You have a great text
I
there.
thought
huh,
so.
Rick?
Yeah, definitely. Let me pull her right back up here. This one says, "Hey guys, congratulations and a great show has started already. Big congratulations to Wayne on retirement. I do have a CCA question. My question is, does CCA Cal work on abalone issues in California?" That's from Tom in Carpinteria.
Tom and Carpinteria, yes, absolutely worked on the abalone issue. It's a tough issue. We worked to try to get a de minimis fishing up in Northern California because it shouldn't have been closed up in Northern Cal for the red abalone. We ran into some headaches there with the law enforcement, but we're still working that issue. Absolutely. We're trying to get all of it open back up over time, but that is just it has to do with habitat and the kelp. If that doesn't grow back, the habitat's not there for them to proliferate. So
The thriving abalone fishery was before my time, so I just don't know much about it. And honestly, I don't stay up on the political side of it now. Is it more so because there's just not enough of them around because of habitat, and that's why there isn't a fishery anymore? Is it one of those things that just when it is open, it gets hit too hard and they don't have time to recover from it? Like
it started because we did overfish them a long time ago. And when you don't have enough in a certain area, they can't disperse, populate. And so that's been a problem. But then we went into a hatchery program type thing with within the department to try to put stock out there. And then they had the withering foot problem,
which was a huge factor.
Which was huge.
Yeah.
And then, so if
it's
you
a
go
disease
around,
that abalone get, and
yeah,
it kills them.
It kills them off. They can't hold on to a rock. But they're, if you go out and you talk to the divers, they're coming back. But we can't take our foot off because they're slow growing.
It's kind of like black sea bass,
kind of,
right? It's like, yeah, they're prolific. You catch a lot more of them. But if we open that season up, divers would wipe them.
Right now, the biggest thing that we can do is stop poaching, because those guys hurt everything that we do to save what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And we still have poaching on abalone.
You see people taking abalone, you see people taking black sea bass, report them.
I just don't know anything about it. I don't dive, and I'm just, again, it was before my time, so it's just not on my radar. But if you're a guy that dives local a fair amount, is it the type of thing where you're going to see a handful of them, like they are around in the local areas, or would you really need to know what and where you're looking for?
No, you can see them.
Some.
They're out there. They're out there. Yeah. They're not
like they used to be.
Exactly.
When I was younger, I started diving when I was 15 years old in Catalina, Santa Barbara Island, San Clemente Island, along the coast and stuff. And Abilene was pretty prolific.
everywhere.
It was pretty much every time we'd go, we'd get a limit of 5.
We used to go to the tide
Yeah.
pools when we were younger.
Yeah, and puck them off the
Yeah,
rocks.
lick 'em.
Yeah.
But and then that was a long time ago. And that there's whites, blacks, greens, and reds, and it started one at a time. And we just gotta play this out. It's gonna take time to bring them back. The kelp has to come back, the habitat, and it just works itself through. But the pollution inshore has to get fixed,
Yes.
or none of this is going
that.
to.
And that's probably a bit aiding the withering foot disease and everything that they got. Hey, here's another good question from a texter. Big Mike from Rosemead says, and this is a good one. It's always interesting to know how your guests got started. What's the history of Wayne Kotow?
Oh, yeah.
Where you grew up? What neighborhood? Remembering your first fishing adventure? Yeah, that's something we never talked to Wayne about.
I'm a Southern California guy. I was born in Garden Grove. We had an apartment in Anaheim. We moved to Santa Ana. I graduated from Saddleback High School right around the corner from AFCO, right off Flower. And then got into my grocery business background, and then ended up moving my family back east for 5 years to New Jersey, and then moved back here. So, and then
so you were
as far
in
as
the grocery
fishing,
store business.
my whole, for 2 parts of my 3-part career. Yeah. It was in that. On all aspects. I was in the grocery stores themselves. I was at the headquarters. I did food broker, and I've done manufacturing.
Wow.
Did all the different pieces. So when
that was your third, that was
2 parts, because if you think about the retail side of what we do versus the manufacturing side, I look at those as 2 separate careers, paths that I took. And then I came over to the fishing side. I was at the wholesaler down here in San Diego for a while. I was doing Make-A-Wish Tuna Challenge for many years as volunteers and stuff, and running that for a little while. And then knock on the door, you guys were at the Hall Show in Long Beach. And lo and behold, Ali comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you need to go talk to Bill Shedd." Okay, so I'm talking to Bill Shedd in the hall at your booth, the Fisherman's Landing booth, as he's stocking the product. And how do I know that he's interviewing me right there on the floor? Oh, you need to go talk to Robert Taylor, right, from the CCA National. So I'm talking to these guys, and then that started the ball to get the job.
Wayne was, that's where I met Wayne. Was, he was calling on us at, selling wholesale fishing tackle, like in the certainly not in a retirement phase, but in the fun phase. And the next thing you know, he was leading the charge for everybody for years and years.
Yeah. I mean, between the volunteer stuff, the fundraising, the wholesale group, helping out on a couple of the boats, that kind of stuff, it all just worked itself out to know the industry, the people. And I've been fishing since I was very young. My parents introduced us, surf fishing, trout fishing, and all that. And we didn't have money back then. We couldn't get on boats and stuff. We did get to get on the barge when it was back there in Long Beach and the Redondo. Did do that. Did the whole bonita fly popper, or the little bonita ball and feather. That was fun times back then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Barracuda thick.
Well, hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We got more of your phone calls. We got more texts. And we got a whole lot more fun with Wayne. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app on the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Offshore fishing is on. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. For bluefin tuna and yellowtail, nothing beats the Shimano Talica, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. Shimano's Speedmaster 2 is also an extremely durable, high-performance lever drag reel for the more budget-minded angler. Both the Talica and Speedmaster 2 feature Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest of loads. For all your Shimano, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great show here this morning. Lots of fun. And hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's going on the water. It is time for the Catch Report, which today is sponsored by our friends at Gamakatsu. They're not just all about hooks, even though they make the best hooks on the water. There's so much more to Gamakatsu, including those killer new Gamakatsu fillet knives. Once you try one, you will absolutely be hooked. They also have killer new tools, including those very special braid scissors that we've been talking so much about. They have ceramic bladed braid scissors that will never rust. They stay super sharp. We have several kind of test pairs at the tackle store and absolutely love them. They cut braid like butter. It's a really cool product. For more information or to check out all those great stuff, see your local dealer or check out gamakatsu.com. We're going to head on up to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. We got the man, Captain Brian Woolley, is standing by this morning. What's up, Woolley?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Wayne. How are you this morning?
Morning, Brian. Doing great.
Good, man. Busiest man I know.
Period.
Sure.
Yeah, period. But not for long.
I want to know how many miles you put on your vehicle in the last 9 years.
2,500 average a month.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, thank you, Wayne, for everything you do for all of us, for sure. I mean, it's being part of the OC chapter here from day one, really, when it started. It's been amazing watching you work. So thank you definitely for everything you've done, for all the anglers and, for us too, guys that work on the water. Certainly hasn't been unnoticed.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
So for us, our report this week, we had that big swell that just kind of hammered the inside zones for us. So the half day fishing for our guys was, you had to time it. You had to kind of get into the inside between tides and that kind of stuff to get over that hard bottom that's been biting. It's been sheephead sand bass kind of a deal on that inside sector, light line with the anchovies, light sinkers was the approach that got the bites for the half day guys. More and more sheephead as the water kind of cools off. Guys fishing the shrimp did really well with that. But, as the calendar changes at the end of the month, that stuff's going to come to a halt. So we're not going to be able to keep that sheephead. 3/4 day stuff right now has all been focused on that deep water, the 14-mile bank. And let me tell you, we saw some excellent fishing out there this week. Phenomenal fishing. Plenty to go home with our anglers. Days that we had, really good limits of quality rockfish out there. Big shots at the Floridas, Chilis, Boccaccios. The slow pitch jig guys, again, just do incredibly well out there. 200 to 400 gram jigs is what the guys were fishing this week. And it was literally every drop was quality rockfish for those guys. So super fun fishing. Again, it's a big bummer that it has to stop after Tuesday. So, we'll take that for what it is and ride out the closure until April. But certainly we're going to get our last licks in here before it closes. So if you guys want to hop on a trip with us this week, call and make reservation. I think there's a day or two that's already full for the earlier part of the week, but there is some spots open as we get later on in the week where our focus will change to sculpin, whitefish, sand dabs, that kind of stuff, maybe some sand bass and calico bass fishing on our 3/4 day stuff too. So that's it. Also, I will tell you, our halibut derby kicks off on the 1st. Our Our drift trips will be on Fridays. Those will be a 3/4 day trip. They leave at 6, back at 3 in the afternoon or sometime thereafter. And then a reminder that you can buy in on any half or 3/4 day, regular half or 3/4 day for $5 when you buy your ticket at check-in. And I will tell you that there's been years past, the last couple, where guys that have bought in that $5 ticket were the ones that ended up winning the Derby at the end of the Derby. So you don't necessarily have to be on that drift trip to win it. So keep that in mind when you check in the morning with us here after the first. So give us a call here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web too at danawharf.com. And again, Wayne, thanks for everything. Our big battle right now is this barred sand bass thing. And maybe Wayne can talk about that at some point. But guys, the sand bass stuff, they're pushing hard for a seasonal closure on that stuff too, as soon as this coming summer. So it's been a tricky battle, and it's no secret. It's in print. You can read about it online. You can find out all the details. But shutting something down without even having a formal stock assessment, it's just a funky deal. So it's another battle that Wayne's handing off to everybody. And thank you for your work on that. That's going to be a big deal for us, half and 3/4 day guys.
Appreciate that, Brian. Yeah, that's a really touchy subject right now. We built a working group with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. We had multiple meetings over it with the Sport Fishing Association of California and CDFW, and we thought we had an agreement. And then we get to the Fish and Game Commission and the MRC, and the commissioners went against everything that was proposed to them. And so now we're in an uphill battle because if you're showing them certain things, you have only so much data. You're pointing out the fallacies of their decision making, and they're not taking the advice. Then it's emotional. It's not scientific or statistical, and that's a different argument and different fight that we have. And unfortunately, that happens a lot, and we need to figure out how we're going to get around that. So yeah, the uphill battle. I hope we don't lose this one, because it would be such a mistake. I just got off that 8-day, and there was sand bass all the way down that coastline, 500 miles south. There's no shortage of sand bass.
It's just a different migration pattern.
It's a cyclical cycle. It's a cyclical species that we go through, and they're watching limited amount of data, and they're only worried about what's above the border, which is just the fish don't know where a border is.
No,
and they don't have all the answers. And if you don't know the size of the pool, how do you know how much taken out of the pool is available to use, right? And that's what we keep talking about. And they do not have that data.
So when could this go into effect?
This summer.
This summer.
Yeah, they're pushing it hard. Yep. We got 2 more meetings to get through, and then it could go into effect.
Wow. Well, Brian, thanks for all your work and all that you and Donna do at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. You guys are at the forefront of supporting CCA California. Is so important, and we appreciate that. We wish all the landings were like Dana Wharf Sport Fishing when it comes to supporting CCA California.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks for that. I'll pass that on, and I'll tell you too, this halibut derby, is great to get anglers out, but a gigantic portion of all those proceeds goes right back to CCA. So, we're all in. Wayne, thanks again for everything, and we wish Chris and Tony the best, and we'll give them our support the same way that we have traditionally given you and CCA. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the show.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Appreciate. Hey, happy New Year to you. We'll talk to you next year, which will be next Sunday. And of course, Dana Wharf Sport Fishing and Brian Willie's report stays the same.
Yep.
On Sunday at around 7:45. So
Put a brand new phone number.
Put a brand new phone number, which I'll have for you this week.
Thanks, Willie. Happy New Year, buddy.
All right, guys.
Best to everybody up at Dana Wharf. Hey, that's going to wrap up our Catch Sport today. Want to remind you the 2025 CCA Sport Fishing Calendar is almost sold out. We just got a little blip of them in at the tackle store over the week. We had totally run out for Christmas time, found a wholesaler that had a little bit of extra, so I got a few into the shop, but they are going fast. And if you can't make it to Fisherman's Landing, I know there's a bunch of other local tackle stores and landings that still have them, but they are going fast. It's full of amazing photographs, the tide charts, important dates, and tips on how to make you a better angler. Find it today at a store near you, or you can order online at surffishtackle.com. When we come back, we got a lot more phone calls and a lot more fun, including a phone call from our great friend Bill Shedd of AFCO and more. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena is the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. Did you know Summit is also the place to get the lowest prices on gourmet ice and snacks for your trip? $3.99 for 25 pounds of ice, as many as you want. That's half the price of others. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice free with a 30-gallon fill. Kirkland products at lower prices than the store that makes them. Plus dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time. Plus 12 diesel pumps, easy in and outs too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you. Fresh made burritos, sandwiches, and salad, along with beer, beverages, and of course, always free ice. Summit Gasoline low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on Earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the two best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at royalpolarissportfishing.com or shogunsportfishing.com.
Sports Grid Radio Network is the premier audio streaming channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on the Sports Grid app and SiriusXM. Sports Grid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in-game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can listen to Sports Grid, go to sportsgridradio.com. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Wait, a 40-pound white sea bass off an inflatable Hobie kayak? Tell me about that.
I'm Logan from Fastlane Kayaks on Mission Bay, and the whole story began when Ron Lane lent my parents some Hobie Mirage iTrex to put on their boat and take out to Catalina Island. That's when I borrowed the iTrek 11, threw it in my car, and drove down to Baja for a fishing and camping trip. Ended up landing a bucket list 40-pound white sea bass on the inflatable.
Dang, that sounds even better than our Mammoth trip, when we packed up the kayaks in the car, snowboarded all morning, then drove down to the lakes, launched the iTrex, and fished for trout all afternoon.
Honestly, the iTrek inflatables are the ultimate fishing platform. From trout in the Sierras, calicos at Catalina, and white sea bass in the Sea of Cortez, they can do it all.
And we've documented all these trips, so check out Fastlane Kayaks on Instagram to see more. And if you think you want a kayak, but you're on the fence, come down to our shop. We're right on Mission Bay, and we would be happy to throw one in the water and let you give it a try. So call Fastlane Kayaks to schedule a demo today.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod, Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, the Sports Grid Radio Network, YouTube, Facebook Live, and of course, 1090 AM. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod, Rick Maxa, and the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup right here next to the San Diego line is where we will stay even for when we're back on the Fan there, even though they have beautiful studios over there at the Fan. Next week, I told them we're staying right here and delivering the same way. So we're fantastic. We will have a new streaming network, thanks to George, and that's going to be a really super clean streaming network. So that'll be super fun. But that starts next Saturday, 7 to 9 a.m., 7 to 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. And Wayne Kotow is here. This is the tribute show for Wayne here. He's retiring. No,
I know. I can't believe it.
No. Yes, he is, but well deserved.
Yep.
Well deserved. And we're just thrilled to be able to honor such a great guy and all the work that you've done, Wayne. So, and we're giving away a great prize. A lot of phone calls have been packed, and texts are like hundreds.
Yeah, it's been a very, very busy morning. Everybody wants to say thanks to Wayne for everything you've done on our behalf. I'm certainly one of those guys, man. Thank you so much. And we're having a great show. And if you want to get your chance to do that, give us a call this morning. The best way to do it is 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090. That's how you reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup. Or you can send us a text. We've said it before. Texting the show, it's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app, which is a free download. And the only way you can text the show is through the app, and a great way to listen to all the archive shows. You'll be able to hear the show next weekend on our brand new stream. Nothing will change if you're a Let's Talk Hookup app listener. Everything stays the same as it always has been. And again, it's your only way to send in your text questions. Make sure that you include your contact info with a text too, because you're the lucky winner at the end of the show today. We want to get you this fantastic prize. Speaking of the prize, one lucky caller or texter at the end of the show is going to win a $100 gift certificate to Cal's Custom Built Reels and a $100 gift certificate to Seawald Photo Gallery to choose from over 120 photos from all over the world, personally signed and titled by Michael Seawald. Again, check out seawald.com. That's SEEWALD.com. And you're going to see some amazing images when you do. Really, really impressive.
Yeah. And I might add too, YouTube and Facebook Live stays the same. So if you watch us on YouTube and Facebook Live, that all stays the same. The only thing that changes is we'll be on 97.3 The Fan. So that's it's the radio station. Won't be on 1090 anymore. We will be on 97.3 The Fan. So we're super excited at that because that is the home of the Padres.
Yes, sir.
And I know there's a lot of Dodger fans out there, including myself.
Get out of here,
quasi Dodger fan.
BS
But you know, it's a giant station now, and we're super excited to build some new audience and get a lot more people involved in fishing. And Let's Talk Hookup. So speaking of a guy that gets a lot of people involved in sport fishing, Bill Shedd from AFCO is on the line. Good morning, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Morning, Bill.
How you guys doing?
Hey, doing great. We're having fun talking about all the incredible things that Wayne has done over his 9.5-year tenure of CCA. And I know you've been right at the forefront of that, being the president of the board.
Well, love it that you're doing this tribute to Wayne. Totally deserved, totally appropriate. And Wayne, thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Bill.
It's been an amazing ride.
I've had the opportunity to, over the last 50 years, to work with some really talented people, and I honestly can't think of anybody that worked any harder than what Wayne's worked. When I think of you, Wayne, I think of so many of our conversations where, I was trying to remind you, hey, you can't do everything. You're going to burn yourself out, and your biggest challenge is going to be to figure out how to say no. And looking back on it all, I'm really happy you didn't listen. And amazing, you didn't burn yourself out. You were right. I was wrong. You were able to take on so many different things that helped CCA build a foundation that we've got today, and build the respect of not just people on the board and people that are calling in here, but people in the state that run fisheries issues. They know who CCA California is, and you've really built a foundation for CCA that California that has an opportunity to last many, many years. So heartfelt thank you, my friend.
I appreciate that, Bill.
Cool.
You guys set a pretty high bar with between you and Dave and the rest of the guys in the ASA and MMA and the center and CCA National. There were so many important people that were mentoring me along the way, and I just couldn't disappoint y'all. I just couldn't do it. And I think that drove me even harder to want to succeed for CCA, for us, for the anglers, the sport fishing community.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that.
You know what always amazes me about this man, Bill Shedd, is his drive and hard work that he puts into so many things, including AFCO and all the great stuff that you and your family have done at AFCO. But the time that he puts in to CCA California and all the efforts, all the conservation efforts that AFCO puts in, not only time but also money too, is is incredible. And Bill, it couldn't be done without you and your efforts
and leadership.
Well, Pete, thank you. But I think what happens is, I'm not totally sure why, but I get a lot of credit for things that a whole lot of other people do. And I think it's important for all of your listeners to know that one of the things that's made CCA so successful, I mean, obviously everybody sees Wayne, and he deserves all the credit and all the accolades that he can receive. But there's also a board of directors that makes CCA Cal really unique. And you mentioned IGFA and CCA National and the ASA and the Center and the NMMA. Our board members are full of guys who have spent many years on their boards and working with those associations. So we have the ear and we have the involvement of those national organizations. So many of our successes that we've had, they come in part from the help that we get from those other national organizations, and that's due to our other board members and the relationships of those entities. So CCA Cal is an organization that has the opportunity to do amazing things for the sport fishing community in the future. And listeners and folks, if we can't continue to build on CCA Cal, we're not going to have another organization. There's been several organizations before us. CCA Cal has the best board, the best staff, has the best shot at lasting the long term. And frankly, if it doesn't last, we're all going to lose our fishing rights. I mean, it's that clear, it's that obvious for those of us that have been around this for a while. So, the hope is that we can continue to build on what Wayne and others have started. And if we can, we'll all be able to have access in the future. If we can't, all we'll have is just fish stories.
Yeah, and that's the truth. That is so true.
Yeah, totally.
And we all have to fight. It's a group effort. And if you're not a member of CCA California, you need to be today, because this is a real deal. And one thing I want to mention, Bill, is Dave from Akuma. I was trying to get a hold of him to be a part of this show. Yeah. I think he's overseas, right?
Doug from Akuma.
Oh, excuse me, Doug from Akuma. Yeah. Doug, Dave Pfeiffer was on the show earlier, but Doug from Akuma, who puts so much hard work, is now the board president. He puts so much hard work, and I don't want to go through the show here without recognizing his hard work and all the efforts that he makes too. Right, Bill?
Hey, I've got to echo that. I mean, Doug from Akuma has stepped up in this last year or so. We kind of changed the administrative organization of CCA Cal, and the executive committee reports to Doug, and he's done just an unbelievably fantastic job. You can't even believe the amount of time that he's putting into this, and I just want to echo what you're saying. There's lots of folks kind of behind the scenes that you don't see that are making this a success. But this is a tribute to Wayne. And Wayne, again, thank you, man. I have so much personal respect for the job that you've done and the energy you've put into it. And I love you, man. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Bill.
Awesome,
Bill.
Thanks, Bill Shedd.
That's
from
great,
AFCO.
man.
Appreciate you being a part of this show, Bill. Thank you very much for all you do. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Good show.
Thanks,
All right.
Bill.
Thanks very much. That's cool. Yeah, a lot to talk about. That boy, I tell you what, the phones are packed. Let's jump back on that, Rick.
Yeah, you got it, man. Well, how about we jump right back into the phones and talk to Arnie? And Arnie's calling us from Vista this morning. Hi, Arnie. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, Pete, Ricky, and Wayne.
Morning, Arnie.
I just really have to thank you for everything you've done for us. It's like the way I got into CCA was actually through you and Let's Talk Hookup. I met you at a remote. You weren't pushy about CCA. You kept educating me about it. And then, the local chapter needed somebody to take photos. So they knew I had a camera and stuff, and I did a lot of photos for the show. So they brought me in, and it really opened my eyes. Once I met the board, went to your event, and then that's what made my decision to get involved. And I got to thank you a lot, because you really opened my eyes a lot to a lot of things that go on that I would have never done. And I'm very proud to be part of CCA.
I appreciate that,
you
Arnie.
work really hard, Arnie, and thank you so much for the call, and thank you so much for all your hard work that you put into CCA California San Diego chapter. And that brings up the subject of guys like Arnie, and there's a lot of guys like Arnie that work their tails off and all volunteer work, mind you, all volunteer, because they care about the resources. They care about the future of our fishery, and that's why they support CCA California. But there's a lot of guys like Arnie out there in the San Diego chapter, in the Orange County chapter, in all the different chapters up and down the coast that have helped you out, right, Wayne?
Well, it's more than that. There's only 3 employees for the whole state of California.
Yeah.
Everybody else, the whole state board, the local chapters, all the volunteers, they are all volunteers helping us.
Right.
And we cannot do it alone. One person cannot carry all that water. They just cannot.
Yeah.
So we have to learn to work with people, educate people, get people involved, pass the passion. And that's what I did with Arnie, and he passed it on. Look at what he's doing with the local fishing clubs and organizations down here.
Really great.
That's exactly what grassroots is all about, and why we're going to be successful is because of those relationships.
Yeah, and there's an event. The events are what make it happen. That's the fundraisers, and there's a big event that sounds super cool coming up for the CCA California San Diego chapter, right, Wayne?
That's correct. We got the Calfina event for San Diego. It's going to be the Anglers Night Out at Calfina
Calfina is a tequila company in Oceanside.
Carlsbad on January 16th.
Uh-huh.
And so
is that's like a distillery, right?
Yeah, and they have a huge area to go hang out. They couches and pool tables and all this nice area to go hang out in. And they're going to have a guest speaker, Mike Raby. He's going to talk about the ghosts of the Pacific. So it's going to be a fun event. It's $30 to get in, but that includes, there's a food truck there and all the tequila and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be three free drink tickets along with that $30.
Wow.
And you know what? It's about having some fun while being educated and being introduced to what CCA is doing. So come out and have fun, right? And that's important. That we got to make sure that why we got into the sport of fishing was to have fun, not to just do government work. So let's have fun, raise a little money, get educated at the same time, and it all works out for all of us.
And when is that event?
January 16th.
Okay.
At Calfino in Carlsbad.
That's cool.
And so ccacalifornia.org, just go to the events page and you can see all that stuff.
Absolutely. Or look at it on our Facebook page and Instagram page also.
Yeah. Another event we talked about yesterday is Talking Sharks at the San Diego Anglers on January 8th. At Portuguese Hall. Doors open at 6. Seminar starts at 7, but that's a super cool event. Check the San Diego Anglers website for more information on that event to January 8th. Rick, will you have a great day?
I thought so. Says, good morning, guys. Thanks for keeping us, Wayne, thank you for keeping us informed about all of the issues over the year that we're facing in our fishing industry. I have a question about the lowered limits and protected fish. When those happen, do they usually have a goal of hoping to increase the limits back to normal? At least in the case of reds and coppers being an example. Another one, black sea bass being a protected species. I would love to see a lottery tag system like deer or other big game that the state manages for black sea bass. Looking at the history of fish and wildlife, it seems like it can be a slippery slope. Once they're gone, they seem to be gone forever. Thanks for everything you've done for us from Rory and Lakeside.
Hey, Rory and Lakeside, that's very good. 2 things. One, once they go down, it does not mean that they're going to stay down. We're doing conservation efforts to try to bring the stocks back. And once they get rebuilt, then we can look at it to try to bring those bag limits back up. But you don't want to get right back into the situation that you had. And so it's all about controlled release. The thing with cow cod, that was one that I had brought up, that we might be able to do that tag system like we do on the wildlife side. The problem is that we do not have that application available to us yet. So while it's been proposed and people are thinking about it, it's trying to get somebody to get off the dime to actually start implementing that process, because it is a systematic and application change at the Department of Fish and Wildlife to do it. And then you will have to go through regulation changes also. So there's a lot to it. It is not a done deal that it will not happen. I believe it is something, because we do it on the wildlife side, that we should be doing. We just got to get people to get behind it and sponsor that up. So it just takes somebody to get behind it and do it.
There you go. Well, let's jump back in the phones, Rick.
You got it. How about this time we talk to Chuck? He's calling us from Dana Point this morning. Hi, Chuck. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey guys, thanks for all your work and enjoy the after work now. It's got to be really satisfying when you go out fishing and you got the right guy when he goes fishing on his off time, right? You just got back from your trip and here you're talking fishing again. It's got to be really satisfying being out there and know that you're fighting for us to be there. And it's just great. And I didn't know they had lifetime fishing licenses. I caught that on Florida when the governor was handing out half-price fishing licenses for a lifetime to spur it up again, after the hurricanes. And I was wondering, do we have lifetime in California?
Absolutely. We've had them forever that I know of. But yeah, and it's a graduated scale based on your age. Ricky can talk about it because he's been selling them at the landing.
Yeah, to get a license, to get a lifetime license, I believe you need to go directly through the department. I know at least our license, they call them terminals, and terminals are oddly different where you go. Like our terminal, because we're a sport fishing landing and we can sell a different style of one-day license for guys going half-day fishing, it limits some of the other things we can do. It's a weird system, but it works. So we can't sell you a lifetime license. I believe the only way to get them is directly through the department, but I could be wrong. There could be other terminals that you can't get them for, and it's a sliding scale on when you buy it. And I know the least expensive license for a lifetime, I believe, is for a person who's not of license buying age yet. Like Wayne just popped it up. So a 0 to 9 year old for a lifetime is only $680.
Wow.
When you go,
that would be a good investment.
Yeah. When you go 10 to 39, you're still a few years away from buying a license, but at least that person is likely going to be a fisher person. That jumps up to 1,100, and it's 11, 12. It starts to drop back down after the age of 40, which I can't believe I'm in the age bracket where my license is starting to go down already.
Much is it?
It goes down to almost $1,000 even. And then from 62 and up, it drops back down below again to that $679.
So what you're saying is if you're 0 to 5 or 4,
0 to 9,
0 to 9, if you buy one before your your
if I bought
birthday,
Wyatt a lifetime license right now, it'd be $680.
That's like almost a no-brainer.
Likely by the time he's of fishing age, the license will probably, let's just be real about it, it'll probably be around $100. They jump up above. They don't. I always.
What's a license right now?
If you get a saltwater license with a couple of small additions that likely we would get, ocean enhancement, things like that, the license is in that $70 range. It's just shy of 70. Like a regular license and an ocean enhancement, I believe, is 68 and change.
Wow.
It's probably going to be 75, 80, maybe even up to close to $100 by the time my boys are old enough to fish. That means in 6 years, it would pay for itself and they'd have it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
That's it. You're right. That is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That sounds like birthday
Wyatt,
gifts.
Sounds like a birthday gift for Wyatt. Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty cool.
Hey,
good info, Wayne.
Yeah, really good info. Thanks, Wayne. I have a great text here from Bill in Michigan. He says, Wayne, could you address the graduating college marine biology or ocean biology students? What would you say to them? Also, how could they help out the future of CCA studies and accomplishments? And thank you for all you've done.
Great text. Yeah. That's a great text. We need more help. We need more marine biologists and scientists out there because there's so many things we don't know. A good example is when Brian Woolley just brought up about sand bass. There's a lot of things we don't know about sand bass, on what's happening with our rockfish and why we're having bag restrictions. We're doing studies out there. We do not have enough people to help us do all the studies that need to get done. Whether you're doing it through the universities, through things like CCFRP for the tagging studies for the MPAs, whether you're doing it through the Jen Cassell labs in Santa Barbara or any of these labs, right, that we have up and down our coastline, we need to know more. We don't know age class. We don't know fecundity studies. We don't have all these different pieces that are inputs to a stock assessment to give us more knowledge in cleaning up the forecasting models. And those are things that just, we need more people. And we have the hatchery down here with the white sea bass. Well, who's to say that we don't expand that into other species? We're looking at it right now. Maybe we go into halibut. Maybe we go into sand bass. Maybe we go into some other species. We don't know that yet, but we need scientists to help us with that, to understand what we're up against and how we're going to get out of some of these situations. We just need more help. And I would say, if you're passionate about trying to help, I mean, look at everything that we're doing with the inshore. We're trying to clean up the health of the inshore. We need scientists to help us with that. We don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
We know what the problems are.
Good. Get them involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great for sure.
I had a great text that literally plays directly off of that on the opposite side. And it says, hey, good morning, guys. Again, a fantastic show. What can the local regular guys do to help CCAs, to help CCA in general, and then also to help CCA gain new membership? And then side note, great job, Wayne, for all the support you've provided us for many years. Thanks for everything, Doug in Claremont.
Doug, that's a great question. And we always need it. We are a grassroots organization. In other words, it's all about the members. It's all about the people that are helping us. So at the local level, the members help us with our chapters. Our chapters do fundraisers and events like what we just talked about here in San Diego with the Anglers Night Out or one of our banquets, or that we work the shows, or we work any of those events that they talk about me going to. Well, that's what the members can help us with. We just don't have the bandwidth to be everywhere all the time, but you guys do. So if we can get our volunteers and members to go there and talk about CCA, talk about the issues. Now it's two ways. You guys are local. Tell us what you hear, bring it up the chain of command so we know what's going on. It's because we can't be everywhere. And then we tell you what's going on and you distribute that back down. That's the whole way the organization can work. We can always use help with fundraising, obviously, because this is a very expensive thing that we do. And, communication, marketing, events, volunteer. Those are the things that you guys can do at the local level to help us all the time. If we put a call to action out where we need help getting out to legislators, writing letters and all that, we put an action item out there, help us get it distributed, help get people into doing it. Those are the things. If everybody did that, it would make our job a lot easier.
For sure. All right, let's jump back on the phone.
You got it, man. Harry in Chula Vista is up next here on Let's Talk Hookup. Harry, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I just met Wayne this past year, and he put a fire underneath me to actually investigate and try and learn about everything that he's talking about. And nitrogen in the by the the sewage treatment plant actually is one of our biggest problems on offshore waters. And Joy Zedler, one of the leading restoration scientists involved in wetland and marsh restoration, says that nitrogens will actually end up killing off our wetlands and marshes because of invasive weeds and species only being able to survive in what's given. And I spoke with a person who works for the San Diego city in their finance department to do with sewage treatment. And she says that all the pumps now need parts that have to be manufactured because the pumps are so outdated that it's a big process to even get one fixed, and the process takes a long time. Wayne, I'd like to know from you, what do you think we should present the public with in order to start treating nitrogen given off by the sewage treatment plant? And I wanted to thank you for everything you've done. And this is a burning issue for me, and I just can't seem to get it off my mind. And I think about it night and day and what I can do and who I can talk to.
Well, appreciate that, Harry. So yes, this is something that goes with the water quality and the releases that are happening, right? That are hurting our inshore waters and all of our waters. And it's bigger than going to one agency or one council. It's everybody going to their legislators to make this a priority, because they're going to all have to work together to fund the upgrades that are going to be necessary to fix the problem. And right now it is not popular because it's not sexy, right? But it's important. If we want to save our inshore waters, our habitat from the pollution that we are causing through our releases, then we need to all get together and fix it. So get together with your friends, your neighbors, everybody that you know, and get them to start talking to their legislators to start getting them to start pushing that. I think at some point it's going to take legislation to do it, only because that legislation will then have to have funding allocations to it that will help it get fixed with a timeline. That's what I believe.
Hey, thanks for your call. Jim, Salazar, the Saba Slayer himself, Lobster Guru, lots of titles that Jim has, and he's just an all-around great guy. But he says, I tried to call, but I couldn't get through. I was going to tell a story about 2 startups of CCA California, or all the DFG commission and meeting resources and white sea bass meetings we went to, and your support of CCA kayak tournaments and all the fishing boat shows we attended. But I thought about it, and really, I just want to say thank you, Wayne.
I appreciate that,
cool,
Jimmy.
Jim.
Yeah,
Jimmy and I go
Jimmy.
way back, and man, the things that we did in the beginning, the tournaments that he put on, the kayak support that he garnered through one of our tournaments, and all of it. I mean, Jimmy is another one that just behind the scenes does so much for us.
One of those guys that is out there in the trenches doing the right thing for our future of the fishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy.
One of the good ones. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more of your texts, and a whole lot more fun with Wayne. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Bizzano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com.
The best just got better. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 20A and 25A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. The Shimano's Talica success is driven by its durability and spec attributes, allowing the series to differentiate from other lever drag reels within the market. The Talica is built around a cold-forged machined aluminum one-piece frame. The all-new Talica 20A and 25A now boasts Infinity Drive. Infinity Drive employs 2 drag washers housed in the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load as much as 40%. There's also a new lower low gear. If your utmost concern is performance without compromise, Talica 20A and 25A are the reels for you. Available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedro Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedro Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
I've had the opportunity to fish many places in many different types of water, but never have I fished a place as much fun as Katmai Lodge in Alaska. Hello, my name is Harold Davis, typically fishing in the ocean, but this is an experience that you have to try for yourself. Fish natural rivers with tens of thousands of fish coming up. And they have all the gear: spinning, bait casting, fly rods, kings, silvers, pinks, sockeyes, and my favorite, the chums. Outstanding food, outstanding accommodations, great service. The lodge is located in the beautiful Katmai National Park, filled with amazing wildlife. Brown bears, moose, eagles, otters, and it has spectacular scenery. And also the fact that the lodge is located right on the Alagnak River and your boat is just steps away from your room makes it great. Do yourself a favor. Call Charmel at 1-800-330-0326 or go online, katmai.com. And like Pete says, they will hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. So much fun hearing all these great stories and all the accomplishments of Wayne. I mean, I think we all knew about it, but it's sure nice to hear it. And man, what a great way to tribute just an awesome guy that's deserving of every accolade and a whole lot more.
Yeah, and you have a great text from a good buddy, right?
I thought so. Yeah, another great friend, and that's Jim Hendricks. It says, Wayne, my friend, thank you so much for everything you've achieved on behalf of ocean anglers in California. You're leaving an astonishing legacy. Thanks for your mentoring and guidance on all the marketing efforts for CCA Cal. I'm proud to call you a good friend. I hope you enjoy your retirement.
I appreciate that, Jim Hendricks. Man, we couldn't do it without you either, man. You run our marketing communications committee for CCA Cal.
He is another guy that
doesn't sleep either.
I mean, the guy works so hard for CCA California. It's like, how does he do it? And he has a job and doing all that he does. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, and Jim wanted to make sure that we recognize that the CCA Star Tournament this year was a huge success, and that we're putting it on again for next year at Memorial Day to Labor Day. We already have the top grand prize, which is a Parker center console once
Sick.
again
From West Coast Marine.
West Coast Marine. We have the Yamaha upgraded motor. We have an electronics
The
package.
150?
Yes,
Yeah.
got it again.
Electronics package from whom?
I don't know. I just heard about it, that they got the upgraded electronics. So there's a whole lot of things going on. We'll be at the shows and have the boat out there on display. So come on by, sign up, and they're going to expand some categories to help as we grow up the coastline. So stay tuned.
That was the most no-brainer tournament of the year. It's an inexpensive entry fee. It lasts for weeks and weeks and weeks, for months at a time. And everybody has a shot. And it's a lottery system. So you don't have to be a Wayne Kotow expert level fisherman. You can go and catch, it was rewarding a trophy fish, but not an unachievable trophy. I thought that the sizes that everybody picked for, bass and yellowtail and all those things were just dead on. I loved it. That's a great tournament.
You could catch one fish and win the grand prize.
Totally.
That was the point.
So cool.
For sure. Well, and hopefully they'll expand so San Diego anglers can fish in it too.
Yeah. Let's let Mexico in there, huh? Heads up.
Yeah. For sure. At some limited, I understand the issues. You can't do the long range thing or stuff like that.
Sure.
But Coronado Islands.
Come on.
Ensenada North or something like that. Just like some kind of boundary there.
Come on, baby.
Duly noted.
There'll be a lot more.
Sure.
There'll be a lot more San Diego participation with a little.
No question about it. A lot more money for CCA that way.
We stopped 12 miles from here. Let's expand that out a little bit.
Yeah, and you have to be able to understand. I think you have to live here because that's what we do.
It's absolutely a very big deal.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Darren. But anyway, thank you for your role, Jim, and all the hard work that you do.
No doubt,
for
man.
Sure,
That's a fantastic tournament.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it was as big of a fundraising
Really
success
great.
as it should have been, and I can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah,
Perfect.
No kidding. Darren in Menifee writes, "Good morning, Pete and Rick. Thanks, Wayne, for all your hard work and dedication with CCA. Will you be at PCS, Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show? What are the future plans, and who is taking over your CCA roles?"
So Chris Arechidera, our senior assistant director, is taking over the executive director spot. He got promoted. And yes, I plan to be at PCS. I'm just not going to be there every day. And I'm not at this point in a booth full time. So I might actually get to walk the show and see the show this year, which is something I don't always get to do.
What's it going to feel like to cruise around and just look at booths, have a cold one if you want, you know what I mean? Like you get to cruise around, enjoy a cold beer, catch a seminar if you want to, hang out,
yes,
buy some
You can
fishing
go watch
tackles.
Dave Hansen.
So looking forward to this.
That's gonna be cool, buddy. You
It's
deserve
been
it.
so long since I've been able to do that. So, and then Jim Hendricks just wrote us saying it is expanded into Mexico this year.
Hey,
Oh, it is.
awesome
Right away,
news, Jim.
Thanks,
That's
Jim.
great.
Nice job.
Great info, buddy.
All right, so that means more participation from our local anglers too.
Yeah.
So good job.
Great news. Hey, I had another fun text. Good morning, boys. I love the show. Wayne, thank you for all of the hard work you do on all of our behalves. Do you know if the current bag limits on vermilions and chuckleheads are temporary or locked in for the near future and foreseeable future to come? Also, do you have any thoughts on if the season might return being April 1st back to March 1st anytime soon? Cheers. And again, thank you for everything you do, Sean in Blossom Valley.
Sean, great questions. Right now, 2025, it's still the same. We go through cycles within the management, and right now we have to wait for the rest of the data to come in. Our Sport Fishing Association and others have been doing stock collection on the species, and then the scientists at National Marine Fisheries Service and others are doing the analysis of that. Hopefully, we have enough data going into the next cycle that will move the needle on the forecasting tools, and we'll have a positive results that it isn't as bad as they are claiming it is. And if that's so, then we can go through reg changes to try to bring the bag limits back up. Now, it's a combination of bag limits and dates and depths. So it's not just one or the other. And that's what we've been trying to do, is create the most amount of access year round for the anglers. And that's been the goal. It's not easy. Somebody always gets hurt on one of those. But that is exactly what we try to do, is weigh all the different options of what can we do. And when we find we make a mistake, we renegotiate it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened up in Northern Cal, where that they had to have a 20 fathom line developed because they can't get out to 50 fathom. It's just unrealistic up in Northern Cal. So once we found the problem, we worked with the department and came up with a solution for it. But we do our best.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's jump back in the phones.
You got it. Steven from Encinitas is up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Steven. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Wayne, I can't tell you how proud I am to be affiliated with CCA. As the vice president of the San Diego chapter, the last 10 years has been phenomenal. In fact, my becoming introduced to Wayne actually changed my life. When I first joined CCA, I was a retired expert witness, and my style was hit them over the head, snow roll them, put them in the ditch, and move on as a victor. And Wayne tempered me. He tempered me, and he said, "Tranquilo, loco. You need to be patient, and you need to be diplomatic. Wayne, you are the ultimate diplomat. Your skills as a listener and your skills as an orator are unsurpassed, and we are so lucky that you were the guy that fell in place to help CCA California get on the map. Thank you so much. And you changed my life. You win by changing hearts. And that is the key to cooperation and collaboration."
I appreciate that, Steve.
Really true.
I
Really
absolutely
fantastic.
appreciate that.
And thanks for your hard efforts, Steve. I know you're at all the San Diego chapter stuff, and you dedicate yourself a lot to CCA California San Diego chapter. So thanks for all you do too. And appreciate the call this morning. Some good stuff there.
Yep. I just wanted to read this one too, a quick one, and it was just some awesome kudos. Good morning, guys. Great show. Wayne is the man and one of a kind. He's incredibly energetic, hardworking, and knowledgeable, and we are so lucky to have had his dedication to our sport as long as we had. Best of luck in your future endeavors, Wayne, and I look forward to fishing alongside you someday. That was from Kenny in San Diego.
Looking forward to it, Kenny. Let's share the rail, man.
Yeah.
It's time.
All right. Here's a long one. I normally wouldn't read this long one, but it's from Dr. Daniel. And Wayne is the buddy we all want. I am a CCA California board member and South LA chapter board member. Two quick stories. One, I had a couple of hundred guests at a party to celebrate my receiving my doctorate degree. And at the end, when cleanup came, there was Wayne helping the family ferry things back to our house. Are you kidding me?
Totally.
Number two, my daughter wanted to go on a tuna trip, and our CCA lobbyist, Mark, arranged that charter that Wayne brought the gear. After a couple nighttime casts, Sinclair asked Wayne if she could try this setup. Within minutes, he was on and fighting her first she was on and fighting her first bluefin. It was my Father's Day present from Wayne. That's
Absolutely.
so cool.
It was magical.
Yeah.
You know what? There's nothing better than any of us going on a trip and helping that person get that first fish.
Yeah.
To see the light bulb turn on, to the point of, on that charter, we were having the people from Pacific Fisheries Management Council out. So we had people from all over the country out on that trip. Some of them getting them on their first tuna.
Yeah.
And I brought all the gear for them to use and jigs and stuff. They were fighting over one combo. It was so funny to watch. And
Why, was that the one that got bit?
she had it.
Oh, she had it.
She was
got
owning it. And they were like looking at it. If she put it down, they were grabbing it,
Ah.
and she'd grab it back from them. It was just a hot jig at that time, and it was just funny to watch. But yeah, it was magical to watch. She is sparked up. She
That's
wants to go
rad.
fishing now.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we want.
But that's Wayne.
Exactly.
Like, you know, when we do live broadcasts, there's Wayne at the end of the broadcast helping us tear down, helping us load stuff. I mean, I've seen it time and time again at all the events. He doesn't just go like I would do. See you later, guys. Have a good time.
I've never beat Wayne to a live broadcast.
No.
We've done. Not one time. Wayne's been there before.
No.
I have every time.
Yeah, no, he's a dedicated guy.
doubt about it, man.
And like Dr. Daniel says, a good friend to have on your side for sure. So
Yeah.
thanks for all that, Wayne.
Another great text. Wow, what a fun and great show, guys. Congratulations, Wayne. You need the official t-shirt, Gone Fishing. Thanks for all you do. My question is, where's your ultimate fishing trip going to be for your retirement? Happy New Year's to all. That's from Jeff Roberto from Sushi on a Roll.
Oh,
Wow.
Thanks,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Great guy who's done a lot for CCA.
Yeah,
too.
appreciate Jeff.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. You know what? The bucket list is long. I fished all around the world, but that bucket list is still very long. There's places that I want to get to or get back to. I just did the Amazon this year.
I was going to ask you, how was that?
That was phenomenal. It's magical. It's not for everybody, obviously, because you're right there on the equator. You're in the rainforest and it's hot. You'll sweat. For 12 days, I sweated. I mean, but to go out there,
Do you want to do it again?
I will do it again.
Would
In a
you?
heartbeat,
Okay.
I'd do that again. Was it painful at times? Yes.
Yes.
It's hot. It's sweating. You're working. You work for those fish.
Yeah.
How you
shoulders
fish
are
there
sore.
is different, but it's so much fun. And I like to travel. I like to experience local flair. We got to go deliver medical supplies to a local village. We got to go hang out. It just everything about it. I love traveling. I like to go all the different types of fishing. So my bucket list is very long. And I'm just going to keep working on them.
Good for you.
That's right.
Let's jump back in the phones, Rick.
Bruce in Lemon Grove is up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, guys. My question is what the status was of the Point Loma kelp beds.
Right now, Point Loma kelp beds is part of.
It's part of. I understood.
Yeah, but no, it's not closed. It's on a petition, which is in bin 2. We just got through bin 1, and the Fish and Game Commission has taken the recommendations of the department, and the process that's setting up is looking favorable because it's sticking to what our agreements were of what was going to be allowed and what shouldn't be allowed within this process of the review, the Kotow review of the petitions or of the MPAs. So there isn't supposed to be any wholesale changes. There's not supposed to be any huge additions. And that is something that they're sticking to. So Point Loma should be killed in the next round. That petition.
Of course, there is still that end of Point Loma MPA that still exists, and it's still there.
So it was only supposed to be minor tweaks to help improve enforcement or additions that'll help with the connectivity and other things. There's like these 4 pillars that they put out there. So no wholesale changes was one of the major points that they made out to everybody. None of those.
And that was a huge deal for the commercial lobster guys.
Absolutely.
Because that's their zone.
That's
correct. I mean, like Cameron Cribbins was like, he flew to Sacramento to testify because it's
Right.
like, this is my livelihood.
That's awesome.
This is
we had a few
future.
people that came up to Sacramento during that hearing. So no, that's exactly right. And hopefully cooler heads prevail on this and they stick to their agreed upon rules of engagement.
By the way, Cameron just bought the Mission Bell.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And he'll be on the show here coming up in January.
Yeah,
so,
a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. So Cameron, we're looking forward to fishing with you on the classic Mission Bell. Are you kidding me?
What a great move that was too. An awesome boat. It's
Yeah.
gonna be that was a great move by all parties involved. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, good one from Quinton in Fontana. Good morning, guys. Great show and info. My question is for Wayne. When joining CCA, are we joining a specific chapter or just CCA? How do we get involved with local chapters?
So what happens is as you sign up, they look at your zip code and they'll assign you to the chapter that's in your zip code. So then as we put out informational emails or blasts, we'll contact you through your email that you put in there.
So Fontana would be in the Riverside chapter or the Inland Empire. I
Inland
guess
Empire.
they call it the Inland Empire. Chapter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you sign up on the website, are you joining? Is that joining national, and then like the events go to, or is just wherever your money always goes to support your local chapter?
Well, the annual membership all goes to CCA National because that supports the overall cause. Anything that we do fundraising wise, anything that we do in and above that,
Local
lifetime
events.
licenses and all that, or lifetime memberships, all of that goes and stays in California.
Like for example, I'm a CCA lifetime member. All that $1,000 that I paid goes to the local.
954 stays here.
954.
Funny how I know that number.
You got a guy that knows the inside workings of this?
Because
there's part that has to go to national for processing and support of the membership database and all the other things they do for us. All the great things they do for us administratively that we don't have to do locally, which is awesome.
Straight up.
For sure.
Cool. Had another fun text. Good morning, guys. Wayne, thanks for everything you've done for us fishermen. I was lucky enough to win the Sitka trip in the Star Tournament off of a single fish entry. If you have one tip for someone who's never fished in Alaska, what would it be? Thanks again. Can't wait for this year's Star Tournament. That's from John and Whittier.
Don't pack too much. You're going to need the space to bring stuff back.
That is a good tip.
Everybody learns that one. Don't overpack. fake layers. All the other equipment usually is done at the lodge or whatever. They have your boots and turnout gear and everything. So you don't overpack. Don't overthink it. It's about enjoying the environment. Take lots of pictures.
Yeah.
It's just magical.
Where is that trip to in Sitka?
I don't know.
Forget what it was.
I don't know
Which
off the top of
lodge?
my head.
Yeah, well, how cool though that, like you said, that's one fish. There's a single fish entry, and John's going to Alaska because of that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Look at that.
That's cool.
And there were a lot of people that had multiple entries.
Oh, there were fights over how many entries they could get in by certain groups, right? Especially
Yeah.
the bass guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they did bass tournaments, and those guys all did catch photo, right? And submitted. And there was this, I had the top one and I didn't get the top prize. It did work. Some of them did get prizes out of it.
And it was super easy to get it. You just download the app and then you just submit your entries. It was super easy to do.
It's very easy.
The board, the measuring boards are available everywhere. We had a bunch at the tackle store. It was just an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For sure. Let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it. How about this time? We talked to Hills. Hills is calling us from Ventura this morning. Good morning, Hills. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Congratulations to Wayne. I met Wayne at some events, and the nicest guy in the world that has time to say hi, and what a cool guy. I went fishing with John Jensen, Channel Islands chapter president, and he was saying that there's been some success around the northern Channel Islands, Anacapa, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, and, there's more. But he was saying that it's looking like some of the MPAs, which are we got so many up here, are going to be modified to benefit sport anglers. And he didn't say it was a done deal, but it's a possibility. Is there? You got
that's absolutely true. It's a possibility. There are some petitions out there to try to open up additional fishing opportunities, mainly for pelagics. And if that happens, that'll open it up. It's not just the MPAs, but it also the national. They're pushing it at multiple levels, right? Because there's a national sanctuary up there too. But there's a petition that's being floated right now. It's in play. We hope we're crossing our finger, knocking on wood, that we're going through that process and it could get accepted, because there's different parts of what we're trying to do, right? A lot of the stuff that you see on MPAs has to do with bottom contact, habitat, and all of that. It should not have anything to do with, say, pelagics that fish on the top, and we should be able to float through there and fish those. In many cases, we're not hurting anything.
What's the future for our California rockfish regulations? What do you foresee?
I see that it's going to go through its gyrations because there's a change of ideas in management. And right now, we used to do everything in complexes. In other words, groupings of fish that congregate together in certain areas, right? And they're trying to break those apart right now. Well, that makes it much harder to manage because we don't necessarily have all that data at those levels. So until we can get that data populated, how do we manage at that level? So we're going to be, playing whack-a-mole until we can get that settled out. There's a conversation going on between the feds and the state. The feds thinking that some of those species are inshore and they want to hand them to the state. Good and bad. The state doesn't have any more money or resources to manage some of these species, so we're kind of cautious on that. So it's all fluid right now.
Awesome.
Right.
Well
Yeah.
said. Hey, want to remind you this portion of the show is sponsored in part by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com. Be sure to make your reservations today. What a great show that was.
Yeah, it was
with Tim
really
and
good.
Marilee yesterday.
And
I
if
really
you missed
enjoyed
it,
that.
be sure to check it out on YouTube and Facebook live or our YouTube channel. It's there now.
Yep,
So
you got it.
Also, this portion of the show is sponsored by Norsk Lithium Batteries. They're here in Southern California, designed specifically for marine uses, which is super important when you go lithium. Norsk Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid collections, and longevity and reliability. Norsk Guardian Advanced Battery System allows you to monitor the health of your charging status on the app on your phone. Norsk also makes a complete line of kayak batteries, electric reel batteries, and more. Make an investment in the best for your boat with Norsk Lithium. Check norsklithium.com or go see the Trolling Motor Doctor or Anglers Marine and check out Norsk Lithium batteries.
Hey, I just want to say to all of our texters, there were I mean, there were well over 100 texts that we were just not able to read today, and almost all of them said the same thing. Thanks, Wayne. Can't believe it. Appreciate you very much. So there was I just want to acknowledge the fact that obviously we have limited time, but there were just such support for Wayne and all the hard work. And so thanks for everybody that texted today. Wish we could have read every one of those on the air. There was a lot of accolades.
Well, I'll read this one from Matt in Apple Valley. Good morning, guys. Great show. All of us at CCA fundraisers, all of the CCA fundraiser, does Wayne have a favorite? And is there one on the horizon?
Yeah, what's your favorite fundraiser?
Wow, we've done so many. And what the thing is that I keep telling the chapters, make them fun, make them different, right? Whether we did a crawfish boils or the
apps and taps,
the golf tournament at Orange County is a fun
the golf tournaments are fun. They're just fun. And then we did a casino nights in Orange County and up in Channel Islands.
Well, there's tequila tasting one sounds fun.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
So it's hard to say because I just want to go out and have fun, and I want to make sure that people come out and have fun. We used to do the monthly seminars out, and we're trying to get those going again. That's the Anglers Night Out. So they're all fun, and I to pick one out of all of them, I really can't do. I want to make sure they're all fun.
So give us, do you have a list of the ones coming up here in the next few months?
I don't. I was looking for that.
Just go to CCACalifornia.org.
He's retired, bro.
That's right. Well, no, he's got a couple days left.
I'm kidding.
Chris Richardera.
I'm kidding.
Chris. So just go to CCACalifornia.org. They have
go to the website
page.
Yeah.
And just click on the events page. But there's that one coming up, the tequila tasting in
it should be. That should be up there. And then Facebook and Instagram also.
Yeah, they do. But every chapter has an event. I know
they have to have at least one banquet a year, but we ask them to do more.
Apps and Taps is again happening in San Diego in May. So I think May 18th, something like that. And then LA chapter is going to have another event. I think they'll do the barbecue again.
Yeah, they've been doing the barbecue up in Compton Hunting and Gun Club. And then we have, all the other, they're working it out with Chris and Tony right now on what they're going to do. I have not seen the final calendar.
Yeah.
But yes, just watch our calendar on ccacalifornia.org, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and the news will be up there. The events will be up there.
Great job. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves $100 to Cal's Custom Built Reels, as well as one of those fantastic photographs from Michael Seawald. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network. Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Hey, San Diego, the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event is going on now at your San Diego County Ford dealers. The biggest deals of the year to finish 2024, featuring America's best-selling truck, Ford F-Series, leading for 47 straight years. Or check out the full lineup of versatile Ford SUVs, including Bronco or Bronco Sport. Don't wait. Come take a test drive today. Get holiday ready only at your local San Diego County Ford dealers They'll be glad to hook you up. Give your boat the love it deserves and install a custom sea deck kit from Blue Seas Fabrication. Blue Seas is the West Coast's only certified sea deck fabricator and installer. Sea Deck upgrades the look and feel of any boat, old or new. Sea Deck non-skid decking adds comfort, convenience, safety, and value. Let the experts from Blue Seas Fabrication custom fit your deck, bridge, and interiors with stylish, durable, stain-resistant, and easy-to-clean Sea Deck. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com and enhance your fishing experience.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. It's time to find out who's got that great prize again, $100 gift certificate to Cal's Custom Built Reels, as well as the Seawald Photo Gallery, your choice of over 120 photos from Seawald.com. If you want to check that out, check Seawald, SEEWALD.com. See some amazing images. Wayne, do us the honors. Okay, we have a caller today. Congratulations, Steve in Encinitas. You have got yourself that gift certificate and that awesome photo.
Yeah, congratulations. And thanks again, like Ricky said, all our texters and all of our callers. Phones were absolutely solid. People couldn't get through on phones, couldn't get through a text.
One minute?
Yeah, just
1
fantastic. So thanks, Wayne, for
Thank
all
you.
you do. And I'm sure we'll see you around.
Oh, I'll be around.
Yeah, join CCA California. Hey, want to take this note to thank from Sports Grid, our good buddy JP, who's manning the phones. This will be our last show with him and last show with Sports Grid. Thanks to Sports Grid, Mike, and all the great people at Sports Grid. We sure appreciate all they did. And the great people, Andres Bocharis at 1090 AM. Thank you guys for hosting.
Guys.
We will be back next Saturday and Sunday. We're back on the Fan. Yes, indeed. 97.3 The Fan will be here 7 and 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Next Saturday, Captain Al Clowers, local fishing guide, and Valerie Hoperich on Sunday from Queen Charlotte Safaris. Don't forget, the Let's Talk Hookup app will have both hours Saturday and Sunday, and YouTube and Facebook Live. So we'll see you then right back here on 97.3 The Fan, YouTube, Facebook Live, and the Let's Talk Hookup app. See you then.
Great stuff, guys.
Hey.
Thanks, bud.
JP, thanks.